Yes, indeed. What's good? What's good? What's good, beautiful people? It's your main man, Big G, coming at you all the way live. I am in your face. I'm in your space, and you know it. I'm definitely blessed to be here on this wonderful day. Doubly blessed on this day because Galen Edward Mitchell Smith III, aka Tony, was born on this day back in 2000. Yeah. Happy birthday, son. If you're locked in, I definitely appreciate it. To everyone that is tapped in, no matter where you are. On a side note, Galen Edward Mitchell Smith Jr. will celebrate a birthday tomorrow. And I'll be doing a dedication and shout out to him tomorrow. My baby boys. So, as these notifications go out and people start to lock in with the show, I had a very awesome day on top of it because I got an opportunity to chop it up with one of our artists that's affiliated with Freeway Records. The good man and friend Rob Lowe Escobar came into town and just so happened the grace of God and the stroke of what I would call destiny. He ended up in my neck of the woods, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he did. He ended up out here in Meridian, Mississippi. Came through to holler at me, came to the studio. We have, in fact, a production that I need to work on later on today because we have an interview that will be dropping with Rob Lowe Escobar's, giving you a little insight about what he's got going on. It was very exciting today to have that conversation, sit down and talk about a little bit of everything. But welcome, everyone, to the Primetime Network. You are listening to the soulful sounds and the awesome voice of your refined host, Big G. And you're locked into industry talk, ladies and gentlemen. Sure you locked in. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know it. To tell a friend. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us wherever you may be joining us from. Make sure that you drop it in the comment section. Drop it in the description. Drop it in whatever you need to drop it in. I just want to know where y'all are chiming in from. Where y'all listening from? Let me know. Lock us in. Let me know. What's going on Sunday anyway? What's happening on Sunday? Does anyone know? It's the start of the week. What is happening on Sunday? The start of the work week for most folks is Monday, but the start of the week is on Sunday. Right? What's going on? You guys going to just sit at home, cook you some food, go to a game, taking a movie? What's on your agenda for today? I'd like to know. I'm curious. I'm definitely curious to see what people are doing on their Sundays. I, without question, I work every day. But I do take time away for family and meditation and dedication, you know, to things other than all of this technical mumbo jumbo that we get into when we're in this digital ecosystem. Like take for instance today, right? And I'm gonna give you a production of this later because I'm pulling together something for um, Tisha's seasoning, and I decided to pull together some red beans and rice and baked chicken, different ways where I can show you me sprinkling the sauce and coming together with something, you know, amazing for you to feast your eyes on. Yeah. So it takes time to do red beans and rice the right way. So I'm going to give you that production, sometime soon, but I have to do the red beans and rice first before I can just give you a video. I'm not going to show you some red beans and rice that somebody else made. I'm going to show you the beans that I make, right? And the steps that I take. So if you don't know how to cook and you're looking for that opportunity to seize the day, carpe diem, ladies and gentlemen, to impress someone, I'm giving you the magic bullet. Yes. I am giving you the opportunity to put on the mask as though you were a chef. Which leads me into today's conversation. Right? How so? Because the bottom line is simple. It's all about the pressure of being fake. Let me clear my throat, ladies and gentlemen. Get close to the microphone on this one. Today we're talking about something that's destroying people from the inside out. The pressure of being fake. Somewhere along the way, society convinced us that being ourselves just simply isn't enough. We wear masks to fit in. We change our voices to be accepted. We chase lifestyles we definitely can't afford just to impress people who probably don't even like themselves, let alone us. Here's the truth. You could dispute me if you want to. Being fake is exhausting. You have to remember every lie you've told. You have to maintain an image that doesn't exist. You spend so much energy pretending that you'd never discover who you were created to really be. But here's what I've learned. All right, just hear me out, people. Hear me out. Right? Authenticity pays dividends. People may be attracted to the image but they stay because of the person. You don't have to be the richest person in the room. You don't have to have the biggest following. You don't have to drive the newest car. You don't have to wear the most expensive clothes. What you do have to be is real. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs the original. Your scars, failures, your testimonies, your victories. That's your value. That's your brand. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your influence. Stop trying to live someone else's life with nothing in comparison, neglecting your own purpose. Because the moment you become comfortable in your own skin, you become impossible to imitate. Oh, my bad. Hold on a second. Did I hit you with something a little bit too heavy? Let me take myself off the screen so y'all can read this right. Don't nobody do you like you do you. They can't do you like you do you. So do you like no one else can. Live by this, die by this, man. This ain't nothing new. People respect consistency, trust honesty, invest in authenticity. Being fake might get you some attention. It'll definitely get you some attention. It might get you the wrong kind of attention, but it'll get you some attention. Being genuine builds legacy. So tonight I want to challenge every one of us with one simple question. Who are you when nobody's watching? Because that's the person you're introducing to the world every single day, whether you realize it or not. The greatest freedom you'll ever experience is the day you stop performing for people and start living in the purpose God designed specifically for you. It pays dividends, ladies and gentlemen, to just be yourself. So let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. Hit me on the hotline. Hit the messenger. Hit the email. Hit whatever you need to hit. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about it. Am I making any sense to you? Hey, baby, how you doing? My beautiful wife online with me today. Out there hanging out with Tolu in Detroit for his birthday. And he had to move. He had to get some things moved around. But good to see you, baby. Looking forward to seeing you in the morning. So let me ask you this, everyone. Let's see who's over here on Instagram. Take all these. See what people chiming in from. Has social media made authenticity harder than ever? Are influencers creating unrealistic expectations? Is personal branding forcing people to create fake lifestyles? Can someone be successful online while remaining authentic? Are influencers creating unrealistic expectations? I'm not really sure what influencers do per se, right? So I don't think that the normal stratosphere of people are paying attention to what influencers kind of push out to the world when they're um, representing the brand or the campaign that they're pushing or endorsing, because we know that that's a grandiose type of an endorsement, right? You're a brand ambassador, so you're getting paid to say you like a particular product when in fact you may not even care about the product. You see? So the integrity there sometimes fades away, and people are smart enough to know the difference. Now, um, unrealistic expectations, most influencers don't have an expectation for you to live up to, because realistically you don't know who they are as individuals. You just see them on a screen talking, just like you see me on the screen talking. You have no idea what my life is like. So no, to me, I can't see unrealistic expectations that influencers create. But if in fact that could be a case in terms of why people act the way that they act in this social or digital construct, as though they have more than what they have, or speaking in a grandiose way to make themselves look or seem bigger or better than what they are, um, I, I, I think that's a disorder. Is personal branding first forcing people to create fake lifestyles? Possibly, but there again, um, if you're pushing a personal brand that isn't a legitimate business, then it's fake anyway. You've branded yourself to do what? You see? So if you're going through the branding, promotions, and marketing process, then you better have all of your ducks in a row in terms of why you're doing it. Your missions, your objectives, your business profile and agreement in terms of how you plan on operating, your standard operating procedures, your dissolution agreements. If in fact you either want to sell, or the business isn't going the way that you want, or you just want to break up the business, how that actually happens. So if you don't have any of these things in place, then the personal branding, as it may state, is fake anyway. But if you take the time to actually go through setting yourself up in business, then everything that you do becomes real. Can someone be successful online while remaining authentic? Of course. You're looking at it. I'm not saying I'm uber successful, but I might evaluate my success and my success level way differently than you. Way different, right? What you view as success, you know, and what I view as success are two different stories. I woke up this morning. Thank God for giving me an opportunity to be able to live another day. That is a success story to me. My personal success, given my age, right? I'm young, but still. You walk up a flight of stairs and twist and roll your ankle and be down for 3 weeks. You get what I'm saying? Don't even know you rolled your ankle. subtly creeps up on you and punches you in the fucking face. Age, ladies and gentlemen. It will conquer us all. In time, it never stops. So here are some possible solutions. Promote transparency over perfection. Share both your victories and your struggles. I'm not saying being so vulnerable that you just out here looking a sloppy mess on the internet. No, 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 no. You know, if you have a project and you run into a snag and you want to show the struggles of getting through that snag, that's something different. We're not talking about your personal life, things that you're going through in your life. I'm not sure why, individuals express themselves like that over the internet. But if it's their solace, if it's their peace, if that's what they want to do in terms of revealing things that don't need to be revealed, right? Then, to each his own. Measure success by impact, not impressions. What's the impact? Has it had impact? Has it moved the needle? Is fitting in worth losing yourself? Hell to the no. Fit in? I got to fit in to get in? That's a rough one. Maybe for some of you. Because some of you act as though you need to be in the in room, the it room, the in crowd, the worldly group. You have a hard time functioning by yourself. You want to be the social butterfly, but you're neglecting your own superior mind by moving with the crowd, moving with the herd. Yeah. Yeah. Pigeons like to flock together. Eagles, on the other hand, they soar high. They soar so high above the rest of the fray. You can't touch me. You'll learn something just by watching nature. You might not understand it at first, but once you apply it to just a general approach of how you deal with humanity and behavior, instinct, yeah, it'll kick in. So pressure points or peer pressure and pressure points in business and entertainment. Changing your morals to gain opportunities. Knowing when to walk away from environments that require compromise. Peer pressure in business and in entertainment. I think women deal with peer pressure more than men. But there's been some disturbing facts that are coming out in the entertainment industry. In the movie industry, the casting couches and things of this nature, where women aren't the only prey. Not prey as in bow down in humility and humble yourself. No. Prey as in you're going to be a victim. So I by and large, I've seen or heard more cases by reading or seeing, things that come over the internet where, you know, I'm not saying the Me Too movement is what struck anything off. I mean, things have been going on. So more people are being vocal about the things that they've gone through. But now I'm seeing more men are being groomed, is the correct word, or positioned for the slaying. They are prey. And we're not talking about women doing this, although you may have powerful women in positions that are running the game, but we're talking about men that are grooming other men y'all know what I'm saying. So peer pressure in business and entertainment. It's there, yes. It's definitely there. And fitting in, is it worth losing yourself? Hell no. I'll say it again. Hell no. You're not going to convince me. And in some cases, some individuals have been drugged, abused, filmed, and when they wake up, draws down, ass oily, they don't know what is going on. But then the next thing you know, they get a film in the VCR or a disc or whatever the case may be of their act, of them being humiliated, of them being gang raped or abused. And of course, they have no idea because you've been drugged. They didn't hit you with the ketamine drink. They got you on the milk, baby. But you want to run with the flock. You want to run with the herd. Peer pressure in business and entertainment? Yeah. Not in our circles. Because we don't even get out like that. We don't pressure you to do anything that you don't want to do. There's no pressure. It's business. Big difference. Changing your morals to gain opportunities. No, I'm not going to do that. Knowing when to walk away from environments that require compromise. I'm not about to compromise my integrity to help indulge your insecurities. You go figure that one out on your own. So we look at some of the solutions, right? Define your personal values before opportunities arise. Surround yourself with people who celebrate authenticity. Never exchange character for popularity. That's pretty that's pretty straightforward. And why do people trust authentic leaders? See, this is key here. Vulnerability builds credibility. Transparency creates loyalty. Consistency builds legacy. Admit mistakes, communicate honestly, lead with integrity, even when it's unpopular. Because everything isn't going to be happy go lucky every day. You're going to have small incremental wins and a hard fought long battle, a grueling battle, getting through the gauntlet of just making people understand what it is that you're wanting to get accomplished to the world and for the world, by the world, through the world. That leader, it's an uphill battle every day. There's no in between. So we're at the halfway mark of this thing, and I do want to slide in our educational segment, but in the meantime and in between time, if you hadn't subscribed to Boss Talk Podcast 101, Boss Talk Podcast 101 Prime Time, man, what you waiting for, baby? Stop what you're doing right now and go subscribe to Boss Talk Podcast 101 Prime Time on YouTube, all social media platforms. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Prime Time. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to make sure you tap in. Right now, over 72,000 subscribers and well over 11 million views and watch time hours. So make sure that you continue to support, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and keep tapping in with us because we're going to keep on bringing you this hot content every day and in every way. It's your main man, Big G. And make sure, like I said, stop what you're doing right now and tap in. Like, share, subscribe. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Prime Time. And be sure to visit jbcomedy.com.
Hey, what it do, world? It's your boy, Comedian JB, the real J Braswell, Comedian J Braswell. Hey, dig this. I got a website, man. Tap in at jbcomedy.com.
jbcomedy.com, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. So let's go over a couple of things. Some success principles, right? Can y'all see me pretty good? I know I got a big head, but you know. Yeah, let me give you a camera a little further away. I know what happened. I messed around and adjusted this camera earlier. And let me get this thing back to where it was. There we go. Okay. I think we're good there. All right. Just need to get something straight right quick. That's all. Adjust the cameras. Success principles. Number one, know who you are. When your identity is secure, opinions, well, they lose their power. Number two, build character before reputation. Reputation is what people think. Character is who you are. Don't get them twisted now. You know. So your character holds a hell of a lot more weight than your reputation. But your reputation is incumbent upon your character. Remember that. All right. Character will outlast reputation every time. Stay consistent. Number three. The same person in public, the same person in private, the same person under pressure. That's authenticity. And if you know me, if you've known me for some years, I ain't trying to toot my own horn. I'm just saying it is what it is. We're going to take a little brief break. It's not really a break. It's an educational break in our programming because, you know, we've been practicing and studying Spanish. And I know all of you have been going back and doing the lessons, reviewing the lessons. I know you have. I know my audience has been going back and reviewing the work and reviewing the video and learning the alphabets and learning the consonants, learning the vowels, learning the different ways that the sentence structure or word structure is set up in Espanol, our first language that we're tackling. I know you guys have been going back and doing the work. So, without any further ado, let's get right into it.
In this video, I'd like to make a brief introduction into the topic of Spanish articles, or los artículos, and show you that they're equally important in Spanish as they are in English. However, they have a lot of differences. But one thing that they do have in common is the fact that we can divide articles into two groups: indefinite articles and definite articles, or in Spanish, artículos indeterminados y artículos determinados. So let's take a look at the definite articles first. In the English language, a definite article would be the or the. And you would use this sort of article when you're referring to objects that you further define or that are somehow specified. For example, in a sentence, I gave my brother the book he wanted. Okay, so you say the book he wanted, so you specify that particular book. And the Spanish equivalent of the would be el or la, or we can also have a plural form, los or las. But in this video, I'd like to focus on the singular form because I have a video on plural coming very soon. So I won't really be going into the cases of when to use a definite article, when to use an indefinite article in Spanish, and there will be a future video on it in some more advanced grammar section. But what I want you to take from this video is, okay, why do we have just one definite article in English and why do we have two definite articles in Spanish? Well, the reason is pretty simple. In Spanish, you differentiate between genders of nouns. So not only is a woman seen as a feminine and a man seen as a masculine, but also ordinary objects like glass, table, book. All of these things have a gender in the Spanish language, and by the way, in many other European languages, and probably also world languages. So this might be a bit shocking to you if you never heard of this fact before, and it's something that you have to get used to in the English language, that every single thing has a gender. And based upon the gender, you connect it with either el or la. So el is used for things or for objects or for nouns that are seen as male, and la is used for objects or things or nouns which are seen as female. And again, if you want some more detailed guidelines into how to differentiate what is a male noun and what is a female noun, because it doesn't always make sense for a normal human mind, then as I've said, go to some future videos, to some more advanced grammar. In this video, I would just like to encourage you that once we'll start doing vocab videos, pay attention to the articles, because it's not, in English, if you're learning new vocab, you don't learn it with an article. You don't say the book, the table, the something, because it's always the same article. But in the Spanish language, you should learn the vocab words with the article in order to distinguish whether it's a male or a female. And the most basic guideline that is not always true, it has a lot of exceptions, but it will help you during your first steps in studying Spanish, is that if you have a word that ends with an O, it is usually a male. Usually male, so it will usually go with the el article. If you have something ending with an A, it will usually be taken as a female or perceived as female gender. Therefore, it will go with the la article. So for example, el libro, which means a book or the book, as this was the noun that I used in the English language. So el libro ends with an O, that is why we use el as the definite article. And for a female word, for example, la cama, which means a bed or the bed, it ends with an A, we use a la with it. Once more, this is not true for all Spanish words, but it's the first guideline that you might find useful. So a quick recap. In the Spanish language, we know two definite articles, el and la, or in the plural form, los and las. And the way that we connect these definite articles to words is based upon their gender. There are many rules and many laws about defining genders. If you want to know them, fast forward into some future videos. The most basic one that you can remember is if it ends with an O, it's a male, we use el. If it ends with an A, it's a female, we use la. Okay, so that was all about the definite articles. And now let's move on to the indefinite article, which in the English language is a, or in some cases, n. And this is the type of article that you would use in the English language if you're not really specifying the object that you're talking about. So if I were to come back to the example sentence that I had, I could say, I gave my brother a book, which means I gave him some book, and I don't specify what sort of book it was. In English, you use the indefinite articles quite frequently, and I would say that in Spanish they're not as frequent, but of course they have their, Spanish versions. So an indefinite article for a male object would be un, and for a female object, una, and for the plurals, unos and unas. So if I were to come back to the example sentence I gave you, I gave my brother a book, the Spanish version would be di un libro a mi hermano. Un libro, because it's a male object and it's an unspecified object, so un. I would do the same thing with una if I were talking about a feminine object. Okay, so that is it about articles. Just a quick recap. Articles are equally important in both the English and the Spanish language, and we can divide articles in both of these languages into two groups, definite articles and indefinite articles. While the uses are kind of similar in both of these languages, there are some exceptions or some special things, but the most important thing or the most important difference between the articles in English and in Spanish is that while in English you only differentiate between their definiteness, in Spanish, besides their definiteness, you also need to differentiate between their gender. So it's either el or la, or if it's something indefinite, it's un or una. That's it. Thank you.
She said, that's it. Bye. Very simple. Very straightforward. But it's needed. And I'm here to learn it with you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to be a part of this journey with you. Right? I haven't given out any homework assignments. I haven't asked you to, record yourself doing the alphabet in Spanish. No, I have not. I haven't asked you to learn the difference between the vowels and the consonants, articles. I haven't asked you anything. You should be wanting to do this on your own. And this might be a very boring segment during our show for you. But I'm showing you how dedicated I am to education, your education, our edification. Don't get it misunderstood or misinterpret the possibility of expanding your mind. Keep your eyes on these rising individuals and businesses. Drupa Marinez and the TMP crew, Ja Blaze and the Cloud Chronicles, Diamore Carolina, Azo Capone, Passport School, Keith Wallace, True Media Boxing, Terry Cherry, Freaky the Pimp, Inside Speaks with Jonathan Shaw, comedian Jarrell Braswell, yes indeed, YKP, Tangela Turner, The Real Shanti, Getty Blue, Exo Music. Roblo Escobars. I told you Roblo came through and saw me today, as a matter of fact. Got an interview that I got to chop up and work on and get out to you guys. In studio interview. Yes. SemiQuest, I'm waiting for your in studio interview. Yes, indeed. Looking forward to that. Got a lot of questions. Yeah. Got a lot of questions. And here's one question of the day. If nobody expected anything from you tomorrow, would you still be the same person? Don't let that go over your head, people. If you want to answer it, put it in the comments for me. And I'll read it to you again. If no one expected anything from you tomorrow, would you still be the same person? Put it in the comments. Motivational Minute. Stop trying to compete with people who are pretending. Ooh. Did I hit a nerve? Your greatest advantage isn't becoming somebody else. It's becoming the absolute best version of yourself. God didn't create duplicates. Even twins have differences. I'm talking about fraternal twins. Right? They got differences. They're not exactly the same. He created originals. Walk in your purpose. Speak your truth. Stand on your principles. The people meant for your journey will recognize the real you. Authenticity never goes out of style. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Never goes out of style. Be you, man. It's just that simple. Be you. Be you. Let me find something right quick. Some information I need to give you guys. I'm just reading right quick, so don't mind me. We winding down, so I'm not trying to have any dead air. I'm just making sure that I have the right information that I'm going to disseminate. I don't want to make a mistake and say something wrong. You guys understand that, right? When you get a chance, go over to rawtruenovels.org. That's RAWTRUENOVELS.org. rawtruenovels.org. Yeah. Hourglass, The Foundation, author Lynette Williams. I want you guys to check that out. Check out the story. Check out the individual. Check out the meaning behind it all. Time doesn't stop. It doesn't wait. And it never gives anything back. Yeah. Lynette Williams going in. Also, Surviving the Silence. Echoes of a Digital Age, ladies and gentlemen. We've been talking about this digital construct, this ecosystem that we're in, this framework, what happens when the plug is pulled? What happens when the plug is pulled? Ladies and gentlemen, let me get back close to you. What happens when the plug is pulled? We move as though it's not going to get pulled, or something's not going to happen. It's going to shut down. You guys freak out when the shit go down for a couple of hours, and the internet go down for a couple of hours. Facebook shut down. Instagram, oh my gosh, what's that? Because you've invested so much of your life, energies, and time into this hellhole. You're spiraling for likes, clicks, and engagement, and forgetting one of the most important things: to live your life. Surviving the silence, ladies and gentlemen. Silence is all that's left. I love silence. I love peace. My solace. Not the low-end sound of the buzzing of a computer or any kind of audio coming through. The speaker. No. 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 Mm-mm. Silence. I love it. I love my peace. So, as we wind this thing down, ladies and gentlemen, I've had fun with you today. Had a lot that I got off of my chest about being fake people. You know, they say only the real recognize the real. How? When you might be fake. You know, if you recognize it, you fake. That's a false fucking statement. If the person that states it is fake, only the real recognizes the real. Well, shit, nigga, you don't look too familiar. I'm telling y'all can get tired of hearing the shit that I got to speak, because I'm breaking all these cliche, stereotypical connotations of nonsense that we repeat as though this rhetoric is something that enhances our intellectual capacity to be fucking human beings. Anybody can pull together some goddamn words, man. But can you be real? Can you keep it real? Can you really look in the mirror? Shaw said this earlier. Can you really look in the mirror and be happy about who you really are? On Inside Speaks, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, every day. Make sure you go follow Inside Speaks on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. And I already know some of y'all are going to hit the rewind button and say, man, did that nigga just say what I thought he said? I know he ain't just say what I thought he said, because it didn't sound like he said much of nothing, but the shit was fire. Yeah. That's what motherfuckers get caught up in. The way shit sound. It sounds slick. It sounds good. Don't mean a goddamn thing. I'm from the South. I speak slow. I read slow. I read it over and over and over again because I read slow. Because I want to catch the full understanding. I do not rush through reading anything. I take my time. I'm not reading this to impress you. I'm reading this to feed my brain. And if I sit there and I skim over shit like I'm reading it just to impress you, like I'm not reading I ain't reading shit. I'm acting. I'm faking it. Come on, man. That's how people get killed. There's a checklist on how you attach this nuclear arsenal to this F-1 fighter. Follow this motherfucking chit list to the goddamn letter. I mean, to the letter. Ah, man, fuck this list. I done done it. I know what the hell I'm doing. But you forgot to put a fucking safety pin in because you didn't follow this shit to the letter. And now the ordnance didn't hit the ground before the plane even took off. Yeah, okay. Think it ain't never happened before? Okay, they got an incident report that Hiroshima, Nagasaki is laughter in comparison to the incidents that have happened. Because motherfuckers ain't want to follow instructions in a rush, didn't want to read. Okay. Think it's a game? Better wake up, people. Better wake up. The pressure to being fake may get you temporary applause, but authenticity earns lifelong respect, ladies and gentlemen. When you stop chasing acceptance and start embracing purpose, everything changes. Your confidence grows, your relationships become genuine, your business becomes trustworthy, your influence becomes lasting. Remember this, it pays dividends to just be yourself. Hey, I'm Big G, man. This is Industry Talk. We'll see you next time, and until then, stay authentic, stay focused, and keep making a difference in the lives of others. Pay it forward, right? And, hey, man, y'all already know what it is with me. It's always about health, wealth, and wellness. Stay dangerous. Stop what you're doing right now and go subscribe to Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime on YouTube, all social media platforms. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to make sure you tap in. Right now, over 72,000 subscribers and well over 11 million views and watch time hours. So make sure that you continue to support, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and keep tapping in with us because we're going to keep on bringing you this hot content every day and in every way. It's your main man, Big G. And make sure, like I said, stop what you're doing right now and tap in. Like, share, subscribe. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime.